to College Corner and our first edition of some college hoops plays for Wednesday. We are debuting the show in terms of our college basketball content. If you guys were here for us last college basketball season, had a great year. College football is also great. We'll be coming here, I think, mostly Tuesdays and maybe some Saturday videos as well. Still haven't quite figured that out in terms of our cadence and when we get this stuff out to you, but we'll have college basketball stuff for you all the way in the lead up to the tournament and the tournament as well. A lot of new people checked us out then. I got 3 plays for you on Wednesday here, and as well getting this out really early. It's like 5 p.m. here on Tuesday. So some of these lines might move by the time you're watching. If you guys are wanting to know if you should still be playing them at the new lines, definitely just follow me on Twitter, shoot me a DM or reply to anything for me and send me a message. My Twitter will be down below in the description. It's Tyler McKillop on Twitter. Let's jump into these plays for Wednesday. All right, we'll start in an early game here. I believe this one's at tips at 6:30 in the Big East. I like Providence plus 3.5 against Seton Hall. The Friars actually fell at home to Seton Hall 61-57 back earlier in January, and now here in this spot only find themselves in a 3.5 point underdog, and I do think that's really telling, which I'll get into here throughout this conversation about this game. But we've got a Providence team that is predicated on some high 3-point volume. They like to take a number of threes, led by the duo of Devin Carter, the guard, and then more on the interior is where Bryce Hopkins plays. But this team is taking over 42, almost 43% of their shots from three, which is 55th in the country. So if you're looking to back Providence, you need to find an opponent that doesn't defend the three all that well, because they'll take a ton of shots from there. And that's been a struggle for the Seton Hall defense all season. They actually ranked 213th in 3-point defense. 34.3% opponents are shooting, so perfect offensively here for this Providence offense. Now, for Seton Hall, their offense, they're looking to score on the interior. That's where they're finding pretty much all of their points. They're 336 in terms of 3-point rate, how often they're taking the three. So we're not looking at this team in terms of one that takes a lot of threes. Their 2 stars here, Kadari Richmond and Jaden Bediako. So for this Providence team, what we're looking for, and hopefully we find, and we do find, is a team that defends inside really well. Their opponents are shooting 43.6%. That is 16th in the entire nation, and also defending around the rim really well. 12% block rate, which is top 50 in the country as well. In the matchup they had back earlier this month, Seton Hall actually shot 33% from 2, so that materialized in that game, but Providence was really cold in that one from 3. I think they shot just 4 of 17, so their volume was down because they weren't making enough shots from there and kind of abandoned the exterior of their shot making. So what I'm looking for here is the defense to continue to do what it did in that previous matchup, find some more efficiency from 3, and cover this plus 3.5 on the road and potentially walk out of this game with a win as well. So it could be Providence plus 3.5. Next up, we head to South Bend for a matchup between Miami and Notre Dame. These are 2 teams that have struggled as of late. Both have actually lost 4 of their last 5. That is not that shocking for Notre Dame, bouncing back after making a change at the head coach spot. Have played a little bit better this year, but overall haven't been a terrific program this season. Miami, though, bit uncharacteristic because this is a team that returns most of its stars. Uga Poplar, Nigel Pack, Norchad Omir, if you remember this team from last year. I kind of find that some of the teams that have a big year at the tournament surprise people. People have a lot of expectations heading into the following year, and Miami did that the following year last season. But this year, this team in a third year of being together just has not seemed to find it. They're hoping to get Norchad Omir back in this game, who missed on Saturday. I do think this is a prime bounce back spot. Miami's defense matches up really well with Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a team that offensively is really, really poor. They're not shooting very efficiently this year, but they rely heavily on the 3. They're taking 43.4% of their shots from deep, which is a top 50 rate in the country. Miami has been really good. That guard play they have is translated defensively as well. Opponents are shooting, 29.3% from 3. That's top 20 in the nation. So this Notre Dame team, offensively, they're like outside the top 300 in efficiency. They're going to really struggle to be efficient in this game despite being at home for this one. And then for Notre Dame, do have an elite defense, very good defense. They're 29th in opponent effective field goal percentage. So it is tough to score on this Notre Dame team, but I find that great offense in college hoops overcomes great defense, and Miami is even better offensively. They're shooting 39.3% from 3 this season, 55.2% from 2. The offense has continued to be super efficient this season. They're one of the most efficient offenses in the country. They match up against a team that offensively I don't think can keep up, and defensively for Miami, I love what they can do here to keep that offense at bay. away. And I just don't think Notre Dame has enough here. I think Miami covers here, bounces back after what's been a couple of rough games, and gets a very deserving get-right spot and potentially wins this game on the road by double digits. So I'll take them to cover at -4. All right, our last play. There's a couple of go-to systems for me in college hoops. One being I love a slow-paced team and a fast-paced team. If they're matching up, I love taking the over. I love seeing a unranked home favorite against a ranked opponent. Those are teams I want to back as well. And then this one. Teams that just stormed the court in their previous game, just fade them the next night. And that's what I'm doing here with Tulane. I'm taking UTSA at +7.5. I snagged this thing at +8, and then it just recently dropped to 7.5. So I want to make sure I get what's available right now when I'm recording. But Tulane coming off a massive win over Memphis on Saturday, in which these fans storm the court, and that is something that has been really profitable this year if you fade those teams the next night. We saw it with Cincinnati the other night, and there was one other game over the last couple days, but there's been a number of them this year that have paid out nicely. So what I'm looking for here is this Tulane team I think can get caught. The Roadrunners are a team that have a good recipe when it comes to surprising Tulane. Now, the offense is just going to fire away from deep. They take a ton of threes, and Tulane has struggled against the three this year. They're 225th in three-point defense. Their opponents are shooting almost 35% from three. So if this team is not careful and that does not come ready to play on the road here, that's even better. You look at a team that goes from that emotional home win over a top 10 opponent, having to go on the road against a team that they don't really take all that seriously. If you're not defending and you're not prepared to play, this is a kind of offense that can surprise you and put up some points. So look for this team to shoot pretty efficiently from deep. And then Tulane's one of the worst rebounding teams in the country. They're outside the top 300 in both offensive and defensive rebounding. So we could potentially give up some second chance opportunities. And we're also not going to see too many from Tulane either. Their offensive rebounding, I think, is one of the worst, maybe bottom 5 in the country. So if they're not scoring, they're not going to get those second chance points, and potentially you could see UTSA getting some on the other end as well. Now, UTSA, the one concern is defensively, they've not had a great year. One thing they struggle with is keeping opponents off the line, and that's a big part of the Tulane offense. So at home here, if they can get the friendly whistle, it'll definitely help them in this spot. But UTSA has actually played quite well as of late. They've lost 4 straight, but they have 2 overtime losses to both Memphis and FAU, so they've kept up with some of these big dogs in the conference and come close to pulling off some big upsets of their own. Jordan Ivy-Curry just coming off a 38-point game against FAU on Saturday in that overtime loss. Look, this is a live dog. I like getting the points here at home, especially against a team coming off a super emotional win. Perfect fade spot for me, so I love UTSA and the Roadrunners at +7.5. All right, those are 3 of my favorite early looks here for the college hoop slate on Wednesday. If you guys are looking for more, again, drop me a follow on Twitter. I'll probably have some player props, and once all of these games are released, some of the smaller games, I might have some more plays as well. And we're also live every day at noon on the OwnersBox Sports Twitch channel. If you guys haven't followed us there, college basketball plays I have every single day. Excited to get back into college hoops here with you on the YouTube channel. If you guys are new, hit that follow button. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and we will see you guys on the next one.